Hello, everyone. Good morning. I hope your sleep was well. And I would just advise, if you have a heavy heart today, give your cares to the Lord so that He can take the burdens from you and make your yoke light. But we're going to read through the Word so that we can get an understanding of what He has to say. And that you can choose this day who you will serve, because the enemy is walking around as a roaring lion, y'all. We are in Deuteronomy chapter 22, starting at verse 13. And it begins with the laws about sexual conduct. And so it says, if any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her, and give occasions of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. Good morning. And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hates her. And lo, he has given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. And the elders of the city shall take that man and chastise him, and they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he has brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. But if this thing be true, and the tokens of her virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the many of the city shall stone her with stones, that she die, because she has wrought folly in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put evil away from among you. If a man be found lying with a woman married to a husband, then they shall both of them die, both that man that lay with the woman and the woman. So thou shalt put evil away from Israel. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of the city, and ye shall stone them with stones, that they may die. The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he has humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lie with her shall die. But unto the damsel thou shalt not do anything. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death, for as when a man rise against his neighbor and slays him, even so is this matter. For he found her in a field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lie with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he has humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. A man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover his father's skirt. He that is wounded in the stones, or has his privy member cut off, shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. A bastard shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to his 10th generation shall he not enter into the congregation of the Lord. An Ammonite or a Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever. Because they met you not with bread and with water in the way, when you came forth out of Egypt, and because they hired against them Balaam, the son of Beor of Pethor of Mesopotamia, to curse thee. Nevertheless, the Lord thy God would not hearken unto Balaam, but the Lord thy God turned the curse into a blessing unto thee, because the Lord thy God loved thee. Thou shalt not seek their peace nor their prosperity all the days forever. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou wast a stranger in his land. The children that are begotten of them shall enter into the congregation of the Lord in their third generation. When the host goes forth against thine enemies, then keep thee from every wicked thing. If there be any among you any man that is not clean for a reason of uncleanness, that chance him by night, then shall he go abroad out of the camp. He shall not come within the camp. But it shall be when evening comes, he shall wash himself with water, and when the sun goes down, he shall come into the camp again. Thou shalt have a place also without the camp, where thou shalt go forth abroad. And thou shalt have a paddle upon thy weapon, and it shall be, when thou wilt ease thyself abroad, thou shalt dig therewith, and shalt turn back and cover that which comes from thee. For the Lord thy God walks in the midst of the camp to deliver thee, and to give up thine enemies before thee. Therefore shall thy camp be holy, that he see no unclean thing in thee, and turn away from thee. Um, yeah, I'll say something about that in just a moment. Thou shalt not deliver unto a master the servant which he escaped from his master unto thee. He shall dwell with thee even among you, that in thy place which he shall choose in one of thy gates, where it likes him best, thou shalt not oppress him. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of the Lord thy God for any vow, for even both these are an abomination unto the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother, usury of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury. Unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury, but unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury, that the Lord thy God may bless thee in all that thou settest thine hand to in the land, whether thou go to possess it. When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy God, thou shalt not slack to pray it, for the Lord thy God will surely require it of thee, and it would be sin unto thee. But if thou shalt forbear a vow, it shall be no sin in thee. That which is gone out of thy lips thou shalt keep and perform, even a freewill offering according to all that hast vowed unto the Lord thy God, which thou hast promised with thy mouth. When thou come into thy neighbor's vineyard, then thou mayest eat grapes, thy fill, at thine own pleasure, but thou shalt not put any in thy vessel. When thou come into the standing corn of thy neighbors, then thou mayest pluck the ears with thine hand, but thou shalt not move a sickle upon thy neighbor's standing corn. When a man takes a wife and marries her, and it comes to pass that she finds no favor in his eyes, because he has found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it into her hand and send her out of the house. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. And if the latter husband hate her and write her a bill of divorcement and give it to her in her hand and sends her out of his house, or if the latter husband die, which took her to be his wife, her former husband would send her away, may not take her again to be his wife. After that she is defiled. For that is an abomination before the Lord, and thou shalt not cause the land to sin, which the Lord thy God gives thee for an inheritance. When a man has taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife which he has taken. No man shall take the nether or the upper millstone to pledge, for he takes a man's life to pledge. If a man be found stealing any of his brothers of the children of Israel and makes merchandise of him or sells him, then that thief shall die, and thou shalt put away evil from among you. Take heed in the plague of leprosy that thou observe diligently and do according to all the priests of the Levites shall teach you. As I commanded thee, so ye shall observe to do so. Remember what the Lord thy God did unto Miriam by the way, after that you were come forth out of Egypt. When thou dost lend thy brother anything, thou shalt not go into his house to fetch his pledge. Thou shalt stand abroad, and the man to whom thou dost lend shall bring out the pledge abroad unto you. And if a man be poor, thou shalt not sleep with his pledge. In any case, thou shalt deliver him the pledge again when the sun goes down, that he may sleep in his own raiment and bless thee, and it shall be righteousness unto thee before the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy, whether it be of thy brethren or of thy strangers that are in the gates. At his day thou shalt give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor and sets his heart upon it, lest he cry again unto the Lord, and it be a sin unto you. The father shall not put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. Thou shalt not pervert the judgment of the stranger, nor the fatherless, nor take a widow's raiment to pledge. But thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in Egypt, and the Lord thy God redeemed thee from there. Therefore I command thee to do this thing. When thou cuttest down thy harvest in thy field, and hast forgot a sheaf in the field, thou shalt not go again to fetch it. It shall be for the stranger, and for the fatherless, and for the widow, that the Lord thy God may bless thee in all the work of thy hands. When thou cut down thine harvest in the field, and hast forgot a sheaf in the field, thou shalt not go again to fetch. Oh, sorry, I just read that part. When thou beatest thine olive tree, thou shalt not go over the boughs again. It shall be for a stranger, and for the fatherless, and for the widow. When thou gatherest grapes of thy vineyard, thou shalt not glean it afterward. It shall be for the stranger, and for the fatherless, and for the widow. Thou shalt remember that thou wert a bondman in Egypt. Therefore I command you to do this thing. And that goes up to Deuteronomy 25, and we'll start there tomorrow. But I'll say this. I'll be honest, my heart is heavy. I didn't get a feeling that he would live or anything like that. I'm not trying to say that, but I did think that he was going to pull through. I don't know. I can't say whether he was a racist or not. I have heard maybe some strong words that he's said about against certain groups of people, but sometimes, and haven't heard everything. So if he said something racist, maybe you can bring it to my attention, but sometimes things are harsh. And even though those things are harsh, they're often the truth. And I did not agree with his theology. I know his theology was way off. And that's actually one of the reasons why I want to read through the Bible, because people, have weird things to say about who God is, even though he has written something different in his word. But I agree, did not deserve to lose his life, especially because although his theology was off, he was, for what it seemed, fighting on God's side. And so we're coming upon a time, and it's actually been this time, where the enemies of God are going to prey upon the children of God. And a lot of us will lose our lives. I'm just going to say that plainly. A lot of us will lose our lives. And it's going to be incumbent upon us to make sure that we're walking circumspectly, even though, again, it's the enemy will prevail at times, but also to make sure that we are strengthening our relationship with the Lord, not bringing in false doctrines, not, placing our faith in idols and things of that nature. We're going to have to do our best to put evil away from us, because eternal life is at hand. I don't know where this man has gone. And that's another reason why my heart is heavy. Not only because he was only 31 years old, has a family, and again was doing his best to speak up for conservative values, but because the enemy is going to prey upon us and take us out of here. Good morning. Thank you, Tomas. I love you too. I appreciate it. Yesterday changed a lot. This is no longer a polite society. The men know exactly what yesterday meant. Yeah. Yeah. I knew about him prior to all this. He spoke with bad faith and false statistics. Saw the actual video. No way any human could possibly survive that. He lost too much blood, artery hit for sure. Yeah, I saw it from far away. Just I think it was like a kind of a fuzzy camera. Yeah, I really am at a loss for words. It's kind of, I actually woke up with it on my heart today. I don't, um, statistics is a weird thing. It's a weird thing to make points upon, because we don't get to poll every single person in the world, right? And so again, I do think a lot of statistics are overbroad. And again, I do not know about all the racism. I listened to him advocate for not killing children in the womb and trying to dissolve some of the confusion that are in people, about what male and female is, those type of things is really what I listened to. And yeah, I'm agreeing with Tomas. We know what tomorrow means. I mean, what yesterday meant. And they're going to do their best to use fear and violence to change our hearts and minds and say, you know what? Forget about this God thing. We're getting killed by the way, so it doesn't matter, or they're going to get people to say God's not with us because this thing there's a lot of implications about what yesterday meant. And just know that they're going to speed this up. The devil knows that he has only but a short time. He's going to speed his plan up. So I'll leave that here today. Tomorrow is, oh no, this is still Thursday. Okay, so we have one more day to finish out the week. So we will start at Deuteronomy 25 tomorrow. And yeah, I do have to get Egypt out for you. He said wild stuff before, like the school shooters victim saying kids need to die in order to keep out Second Amendment rights. In order to keep our Second Amendment rights. I would have to hear that context, honestly. And again, I'm not trying to advocate for none of this. I don't think anybody should be dying, because we're not supposed to be killing anybody. We're not supposed to be killing anybody, but what am I going to say? People will lose their lives in order to preserve the life of others. I don't know why. I don't know why that sentence would have been said. I really don't. Like I said, I need to hear the context, but some of us will lose our lives for the greater good. I don't know what else to say besides that. Some of us will lose our lives for the greater good. And it's not right, because we should not be killing each other. But we are playing the enemy's game right now. And this is what they want from us. They want us to say, you know what? Yes, we should give up our Second Amendment rights. That's what they want us to do. Why? Because they are tyrannical government. And if we don't have weapons, we cannot fight back. And so, yeah, that's really all I'm going to say like that. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. They want us to give up the weapons, and they will take out women, old people, children, whomever they need to, in order to make sure that our hearts and our sentiments lean towards that. And yeah, and I'll say it just like that. Yeah, inside job for sure. That was the first thing I thought. I mean, there's so many radicals out there, but at the end of the day, it's all their camp. Whether it's an enemy, you know, or whether it's the elites doing it, they're all on the same side. Whoever did it, they're all on the same side. Hello, hello. Good morning. And so that's what we need to know. And they're going to talk to us like we're the intolerant ones, like we should just be inclusive and all this. But their inclusion involves worship of Satan. And they want us to just bow down and be okay with it. And everybody should just be able to do what we just read yesterday. The women should not put on what pertains to a man, and a man should not wear the garments of a woman. We just read that. But this is what they want to turn the nation to. They want killing within the gates. Man, there's so much I want to say. There's so much I want to say. But this is the reason why I'm reading this word, so that we can see the difference between how they conduct themselves and how God told his people to conduct themselves. Because again, at the end of the day, you're going to have to choose who you're going to serve. There's only two sides. There's people, oh, they're agnostic. Oh, okay, do what you, but at the end of the day, there's only two sides. And I'll do this after my meeting. I have a meeting here at 7, but I'll put into the short the fruits of the spirit, even though we haven't gotten to that part yet, the fruits of the spirit versus the fruits of the flesh. And just compare the two and find out which one do you want to walk in. Do you want to walk in the fruits of the spirit, or do you want to walk in the fruits of the flesh? They want us to walk in the fruits of the flesh. And just as Paul told us, our flesh wars against our spirit, so that we can't even do the things that we want to do. Even things that you know that is right to do, we can't even do those things all the time. And the things that we don't want to do, those are the things that we do. But the spirit, all those things that are listed there, those are things that are free for us and do not cause us harm. But again, I'll put that in a short here in just a second. And I gotta get to this meeting. Yeah, very fortunate indeed. I agree. Shooting was an inside job. Rest in peace, Captain Kirk. Very unfortunate indeed. Very unfortunate. And that man's children and his wife, our prayers go out to them, because I can't imagine. But maybe we will talk. Maybe we'll talk later. But I do want to get this video out to you all. And I got a little bit of work to do today, but so I got a big schedule, but I will do my best to work quickly. Okay, guys, I will talk to you soon. Have a great day. Again, don't let things be too heavy on you. Give your cares to the Lord. He's waiting to hear it. Okay. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.